Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has denied claims in some quarters of a growing dispute or difference in positions between security agencies and private security firms in the fight against oil theft in the Niger Delta. This rebuttal from the highest quarters has come in the wake of a recent altercation between the Nigerian Navy and a private security provider, Tantita Securities Services Limited, over a crude oil vessel that was arrested in Ondo State. Well, Dr. Chikezie Obasi is a public affairs and security analyst. He joins us now to have a quick discussion around this development. Good day and welcome to Newsday.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. What can be done to better foster relationships and synergy between these two security agencies? We know recently there was that small skirmish about the vessel and the security agencies slightly warring with the authorities at hand as well. Can you tell us more about this and what could be done better when these kinds of situations arise?
Okay, first, I must commend the NSA, the security operatives, the private firms, MP, Nigerian Petroleum, Company Limited, National Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited, and then private security operatives. I guess the problem that altercation occurred late last year when a vessel belonging to Nigerian military, Navy, was actually arrested by the private security firm in combination with the other security agencies. But more recently, we saw that a vessel federal government commended both for their synergistic action, in arresting another illegal vessel about some few days ago, with the scene that the Nigerian defense had actually commended the private security operatives and commended every other person involved. I think a synergy had come, a point where both private security operatives, these local men, the coordination between the Navy and then the National Defense and Security, and NSCDC had come. So I think we should commend them right now, and we will be able to ask them to continue. Sometime during 2019 or thereabout, we overheard the governor of Rivers State, then former governor Amin Yosin Wike, accuse the military, I think the GOC then, of having a hand in the illegal deal of bunkering in Niger Delta, and that didn't speak volume. That didn't speak good. We had expected that with the passage of the PI bill, which is now Petroleum Industrial Act today, that there will be synergy between every other person to bring down the illegal bunkering, and the illegal oil theft in Niger Delta. And I think we've been getting some positive ones, because I must tell you, the private security operatives, I for one, wasn't so comfortable when they came on board. But with the actions we are seeing with them today, the synergy we are looking at, the cooperation between them and the Navy, and then the defense corps, we are beginning to see that maybe positive thing will come out. We are seeing Nigeria coming up with a number of crude oil fuel, more barrels every day, up to 2 million, which is almost the peak we've been getting, from less than 1 million some years ago. So I think we must commend them this time and then ask them to work in synergy so that we don't have a repeat of what we had in December, the altercation. That isn't good for the country. That isn't good for the image of the security operatives.
Mr. Obasi, you recall that Tantita claimed that a naval personnel was on board the arrested vessel, and he reportedly tried to prevent Tantita operatives from conducting a joint inspection. So should the Chief of Defense Staff be so quick to be dismissive about this altercation? He's trying to make it seem like it's a media creation. Those are serious allegations. The Navy also blamed, accused Tantita of complicity, raising false alarm. These are serious allegations that should be investigated. Don't you think so?
Yes, I think very much, because that's why I said initially, that 2019, Governor Wike accused the the military GOC of, in River State as of having accomplice. So when this allegation came, so many of us didn't look at it from a peripheral point of view. We look at it that something more sinister is happening, and we can't just wish it, we wish it away. I believe that the government actually should be able to set up a good, investigative panel to look into what actually happened. Is it a non-coordination of activities? Because the never men that are there, why are they there? What happened? How did they get into that place? If they were doing their routine job, why were other security operatives not in the know? These are issues I feel that the federal government, the president, should be able to look into. More importantly, the NSA, he should be able to set up a committee to look into this and find a lasting solution. I don't want to look at them as complicit. I want to give, in the issue of justice, you say that accused is innocent until proved otherwise. I want to believe that they should come to amicable, resolution. However, if the NSA finds any person, as accomplice to the crime, if there's any crime that went on there, they should be able to punish such a person, very well, and then be able to bring some deterrent. But more importantly, there should be synergism between those that are actually manning our borders. More space should be given to the naval Navy, more waterways, more synergy between the Navy, the the National Security and Defense Corps, and then the private operative. And then more importantly, the locals. The locals must be involved, and then the police. So I think, yes, a committee should be looked into it. Nigerians should be meant to understand what transpired. If there's anybody that was found wanting, should be punished. But more importantly, a proper synergism should be, established between these arms. And the private firm, I must commend them. The Tantita has actually tried to show that there are certain things you could get right in Nigeria. That when you begin local policing, local security agents, that they could be effective and they could actually help in combating crime.
It's important, you're right. It's important that someone watches the watchers. There needs to be accountability on all ends, especially with this level of theft that we see in this arena. But in situations like this, where there's an uncomfortable overlap of processes or systems, and also, maybe some ego tussles, a little bit of territorial behavior, a little bit of back and forth between established agencies. What role could technology play in this scenario in order to lessen that human behavioral aspect that sometimes gets touched when, just as we've seen, two powerful agencies might be called to be doing similar jobs, or maybe something more sinister is happening there? What role could technology play to synergize all of this?
Okay, if you take a look at Aramco oils, Aramco in Saudi Arabia, you discover that every drop of liter of oil, crude that actually is extracted per day, is known, by the government. I believe that NSA boss, New Ribadu, I think he should be in a better position to synergistically bring technologies. We need to have drones, we need to have, because, if you have a place where you could actually bring all these people, have a proper orientation, understand that they are working for one goal, they could actually use drones to man those areas. The waterways are not so big that they could not. And then they make available some of the information that the locals have, some of the information that they never have, because of course you know that our waterways is protected by the Navy. They have a whole lot of information that I am pretty sure, and I know that, and they have a lot of gadgets. Now bringing them on board and putting them in a room to synergistically harmonize them using modern technology. These days we have drones, they have warships that can actually have a lot of cameras that can surveillance, and even NNPC, NNPC, which is the agency handling the coordination of this oil, actually could come on board. But you can't underscore the role of technologies these days. A lot of surveillance cameras are there, a lot of drones can actually be deployed. And then more importantly, bringing them to one table so that they can actually harvest the use of these cameras and harvest the use of these technologies for the interest of the county. So I believe clearly there is need for us to have